things will come that will warrant you to sit down and have very frank conversation.
Have
you
not
tried to
gotten to
establish a
that.
company? Or I will never change. Okay, now.
This is another banger. Of course, you know Pelumi already. I don't need to introduce her. You remember the video that she gone? I can't remember as well. The Rotumo is quite interesting. Like, I still refer to it every time. So yeah, Pelumi is here, and we are going to talk about our own personal experience on what she wished she knew before she got married. So, right on, Pelumi, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining the WOWCastle again today, and
You're
I'm
welcome.
so excited to be back on the channel. So today we'll be talking about what I wish I knew before I got married. Well, there are a lot of things, because marriage is a lot of learning. Nobody has a manual for marriage, so you always find something new, something that will shock you, something that will surprise you. So personally, I would think one thing I wish I knew was that depending on the different phases of life that you're going to experience together in marriage, you're going to see different versions of yourself. So if you have loved your spouse because maybe he's very caring, he has all the time for you and it's always over you and all that, there are times in your life when you have another phase where you probably get busy. Maybe you met him as a new employee, and now he's now started his own company. He's now a CEO. He's not going to have all that time, all that luxury. And it's not just about having time for you, really. It's just that as you grow in marriage, as you begin to face different phases, different aspects of life, things are going to change. So your marriage is not always going to be the same way it was when you started. Things will change. Your understanding of situation will change. Your communication will change. The way you see life will change, because you would have gathered experience as you grow up in the marriage, and your understanding of marriage will change. Your understanding of the person you married will change, and then you need to start making adjustments to fit into the new life that you have and the new thing that is going on and the new phase that you are. And it's a whole lot of different emotions that come with that, and different different emotions, really, because you sometimes it will be shocking to you to know that, oh, this person, I didn't know you can ever do this, but he's doing it because he's in a different place. Life has changed. He's not the same person. He's not the same. He's not in the same situation, so he has to change alongside the new situation that he's into. And it's really amazing how these things work, and how it can actually affect your marriage if you don't handle it carefully. It can really affect your marriage. So for me, when I got married, or when I met my husband newly, he was young, I was young, he was young as well. I was in school, he has finished school, he was working, and it was just a whole lot of different stages that we've gone through, and we've had to adjust and change and shift ground and understand ourselves better. Else you just keep having problems, though, because you will not
change is the only constant thing in life.
Yes, except you want to be static and you don't want to grow and you don't want to change and you just want to continue to live the same lifestyle. Things will come that will warrant you to sit down and have very frank conversation. To be true to yourself, and it will not be a very easy conversation to have, but then you need to have it. So when we started off as dating, we were both very carefree. We didn't have responsibilities. I was young. He too, he was living his life like we did. But when we started facing challenges, I lost my mom. He lost his mom. He lost his dad. Like, we started responsibilities started piling up. And all of a sudden, that luxury that you had, that you sleep and fall along, you don't even remember.
Like, you don't have any problem.
That you sleep and you know that you are carefree and you don't know that life is going. You see that those things begin to change. And now, rather than sitting down and just gisting about movies or just gisting about relevant things. Now you have pressing things to talk
Life
about,
is your
and you
grand.
expect this
Life
person to
is
understand
before
that
you.
this is the reason why I want us to keep this money so that we'll use it to do this thing. And it's why
Mm-hmm.
can't we just eat out? Like, things are definitely going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same over time. Over
Yeah.
time, depending on the different phase of life that you're going to face, you are going to keep
Mm-hmm.
shifting ground for yourself. Both of you are not going to
Mm-hmm.
be the same. See, nobody will tell me that they are exactly the same person they were when they
No way.
initially got married and
No
5 years or
way.
10 years into the marriage. It's
God
not
did not even
possible.
allow us to remain in a place.
It's, it's
We
not
will not be
possible because
stagnant.
even you, the things that you have changed about yourself, there are probably things you have said I will never do or I will never change. Okay, now
Àìmọye. Àìmọye.
let's see.
Because
Let's
situation, see,
see
you are
how
very right
possible
with
that
this
is.
thing. Change is very constant in life. I
Yeah.
was telling someone, I said, I've come to understand that sometimes when a group of friends, like we are together and we are gisting about, maybe things that's happening in our marriages, and one can say, we don't have this issue in my marriage. We've never had that kind of issue in my marriage. Sometimes it's
It's
not
because
that
of
you've
where
not
you
had
are.
that issue. It's because you've not got into that
You've not
place.
gotten to
When
that
you get
phase.
to that place, hey, wait.
You've not gotten
Like,
to that
okay, for
phase.
instance, now let me be in the middle of some couples, and the lady should be talking about how she and her husband, they are trying to establish their own company, and then they had this issue, and me should not put mouth that, me, we don't have this kind
You've
of
never
issue in my home.
have
We
you
have
tried
not
to
gotten
establish
to
a
that.
company?
In our home, we know how to manage grief. We manage it
Uh,
well. We don't.
what kind of grief
Both
have
of
you
you, have
had?
you lost anybody?
A child.
We know how
Like,
to. We are very
have you
patient. We know how to
mm-hmm,
manage ourselves. Sometimes we know how to manage our finances.
mm.
You've not gotten there.
And
It is
somebody
when you
lost
get.
his job. As both of you lost job.
It is when you get there that you understand. You see, that's why a lot of people
You
say,
know.
when
Yeah.
some people get to the abroad, they start to have issues, and all of that, because sometimes it's not just the lack of money that cause issue. Actually, it's even when it is abundant, sometimes that
Too
there is
much
more issue,
abundance of money.
can cause. In fact, it causes more issues. So it is when you get to the abroad, I think everything now be convenient. The thing will now turn,
Mm.
it now starts to cause issue.
Upside.
So sometimes it's not because you guys know how to manage it. It's because you have
Mm-hmm.
not gotten to that junction. When you get there, you know that
Yeah.
this life. So to not drag
Mm-hmm.
it, change is the only constant thing. Now we must learn to change with seasons. Like you said,
Yes.
something you have said, me, I can never do this. Our understanding of a lot of things will start to change.
We change. Yeah.
Actually, what I think love means to me when I was single has changed now. You
Yeah.
understand? What I think
Yeah.
attention was as a single lady, or when I was getting married, what I think, okay, this is attention, this is how I love attention to be,
Sure.
has
Mm.
changed now.
Yeah.
Now I can say, okay, maybe the attention that my husband wants to give me, help me to give it to the kids so that me I can
Mm.
have rest. This
Rest.
is this season, this is what I want. Help me to babysit them. Why me I rest? Just don't worry about me. I'm fine. Let me just be. So
Yeah.
it will change as time goes on. You get
Mm-hmm.
situations, seasons, faces. Anything. A
Everything.
lot of
Yeah.
things. Change is just very constant, and we must learn to
Yeah.
change and adjust.
Yeah.
Otherwise, friction ma yapa. Yeah,
Give it. And we also need to learn to give ourselves the grace over new, because if we are both experiencing, because a lot of time as couples, you are both going to be experiencing new things at the same, like both of you are experiencing that thing for the first time. You've
at the
not
same
experienced it
time.
before, I've not experienced it before, we
Mhm.
are both experiencing it for the first time, and the way we will express ourselves and understand the situation and handle the situation will be different. And you need to be able to give the other person grace, because for example, we relocated abroad. I've never been abroad before. My husband has never been abroad before. If we get here and the weather is not, we don't like, we are not comfortable with the weather, the taxing system, the salary payment and everything, we don't understand, and it's taking a toll on me, and I'm transferring aggression to my husband. He too is experiencing it. He too
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
confused. He does not understand how it works. So we need to give
Yeah.
ourselves that grace. So despite the fact that you're going to be having changes and experiencing different phases in life, we need to
Mm.
learn to give ourselves grace for that season,
Great.
because both of you might, if you don't handle it well, if you feel that he's the man, he should understand better, he does not understand, he has not been there. He too is experiencing it for the first time. You too
Mm-hmm.
should understand as the wife and be like, both of us, so let's come, we know we are both
Let's
JJC in this
mm-hmm.
matter,
Let's
but
work
let's
it
try
together.
and figure it out without
Uh-huh.
bashing ourselves and making ourselves feel bad
Mm-hmm.
and causing unnecessary problem in our marriage. So we should
Mm-hmm.
give ourselves that grace, give ourselves that
Yeah.
opportunity to experience new things while still
Yeah.
loving ourselves through it, even though it's not what we want, or it's not what we expected, or we are shocked by the new change. We should still be able
Mm.
to love ourselves through it. I think that's very
Mm.
important as well.
Yeah. In fact, actually, the other side of this, you just said, it doesn't even matter if one partner has experienced that thing before.
Before.
So if the person who has experienced it should still be able to give the JJC grace. You
Mm.
understand? And the
Yeah.
JJC should still be able to understand that, okay, the reason, for instance, when we were going through stuff in my family, I used to feel like my husband is, nonchalant about it, is not carrying it the way me I'm carrying it. Until one day I realized that my husband has gone through stuff in his life. You understand?
Mm.
He has lost siblings, he has gone through stuff. You understand? So he probably would know how to manage
Grieve better.
such than
Yeah.
me.
Than
You
you.
understand?
Yeah.
So on his part, he should give me grace, because I
Mm.
am
Yeah.
JJC, and
Yeah.
on my part, I should be able to, not look at him like he's not challenged, or he's not feeling what I'm
Yes.
feeling, or
Mm.
he has grown past that to some
Past that
extent. So I
stage.
should
Yeah.
understand that it can't be a baby, can't be babying like me, you get. So
Yes.
you are
Yes.
right. In whichever situation, we should give grace. So that's a
Yes.
very important point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Pelumi. I'm happy we're able
Thank
to
you for
make this.
having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Since you
much for
said you
having me.
since you said you have so many things that you wish you knew before you got married, so I think when we go round and round, we'll still come back to you.
Okay, no
Hopefully,
problem.
yeah. Hopefully, if you
No
watch the
problem. I'm
videos
always
that you think there are
available.
still points that you want to point out, yeah, 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 we want to hear everything. Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you guys. Thank you for
Thank
watching
you.
always, and thank you for subscribing. And I'm sure you are going to share. So we love you. You've learned another thing. I'm sure of that, because personally, I have learned we should give grace, and that is on point. Right, guys. Bye. Have a lovely day. We
Bye.
love
Thank
you.
you.